I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin Cosplay, and today we are back at you guys with Hunter x Hunter, episode 95.
Yes.
Almost in the 100, guys.
Yes, that's a big number. Last episode, we finally found out why Killua wanted to run so much when facing a strong opponent.
Yeah.
It was not so much the instincts as much as it was influence and a pin in his fucking brain.
Let's just say that Illumi has a really twisted, weird way of brother love and protection.
So, kind of like a seal, basically. Killua fought that back and tore that pin out of his brain and managed to kill Rama in like a second. And he's much more happy now, and Gon noticed, so that's pretty cool.
Now you can say with Gon.
Yes. They're having some fun together as the others are basically looking at them and thinking that they deserve a few days before they are faced with what happened to Kite.
Yeah.
I'm not ready either, so I don't know if we figure it out this episode, but I'm not ready.
Not ready to see zombie Kite? No.
Yeah.
No.
And Palm freaked out last episode as well. We know now that her blood is special and she uses it she uses some sort of mermaid
Siren, yeah.
Siren thing, and she uses her blood to see wherever, where the person that she's looking for is. At least that's how she used it last episode. I don't know if her blood can do many more things, but apparently it's special. So hopefully we get to see more of her abilities without them being directed at our main characters. So yeah, let's just jump in this episode and see if we see Kite.
Oh,
Let's go.
all right.
Okay,
So,
the
yeah.
cheetah thing is the easiest thing to talk about.
And the
I think it's the great.
the quickest to talk about too.
I think the cheetah, it's a great example of how they could potentially win against these things. Lack of experience. They've been talking about it for a few episodes, and it's always been, it was also, at the top of the lesson that Gon and Killua needed to learn last time. Experience can sometimes push a fighter that is weaker than its opponent, above. And that's what's gonna matter with Netero, that's what's gonna matter with Gon and Killua and Neferpitou, that's what's gonna matter with every fucking character. And hopefully it's enough. I know, like, if you look at the cheetah's fight with Knuckle and his master, I mean, he got the upper hand, but then he doesn't inflict that much damage. So they can handle chimeras on that level without breaking much of a sweat. So in my opinion, they can hold their own a little bit, maybe against the guards. I do think it's a stupid idea to send Knuckle and Shoot together against one of the guards. Like, why? I mean, unless the two masters, the two senseis have fought together before and their abilities match really well.
I think that there's that, and if we're honest, Gon's ability and Killua's gonna be great together because Killua, they fought together already in the past.
They cannot separate the two. They
cannot separate, and Killua is probably the only one who can calm down Gon.
That's why, yeah.
If he gets too much,
and they requested to go after Neferpitou, of course,
because of Kite, yeah.
Yes. I just think that at least for
sorry guys.
At least for Shoot and Knuckle, it's kind of stupid because like they're strong, but then one of them is a coward and the other one is just, well, he's strong, but then on his own, like, I feel like his ability against a guard, like, you would need support. Like, you would need someone to cover his attack or to help him, kind of like his master did with the cheetah. But maybe we'll be surprised. We never really saw them fight together. They managed to fight Kite.
We do know, though, that both of the sensei, or both of the masters, are fighting well together because of what they did with the Chairman Netero.
Well, they were fighting. They were capturing chimeras and sending them to Netero. We never saw them fight together.
That'll be the same thing with what's her name? With Palm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Palm is with them.
Palm hasn't been mentioned, but she's gonna follow.
She's gonna be with them. And
I don't know. I don't even know like if her ability has anything to do with fighting because like she hasn't been mentioned. And you've got what's his name? Fuck. What's the name of the master that she likes so much?
I think is it Colt?
No, Colt is the chimera.
Just call him senpai.
Anyway, the guy with the glasses. whose name I forgot, he kept mentioning that she couldn't, put herself in danger or use her blood without him saying so because her blood is so special. So maybe that's why she's not supposed to fight. But then if she is supposed to fight, she's probably gonna tag along with them. So maybe we'll see something there. But I just, off the top of my head, I would say it's stupid to separate, to put the students together and the teachers together. Like, I would at least try to even the odds a little bit and send one teacher with one student.
At least to put one of the most experienced hunter with one of the least experienced hunter. But then put it more even. But
then not to say that that Knuckle and Shoot are not experienced. Like, they are still pretty strong. Like, Killua and Gon did not succeed. They did not beat them. And they are also on their own going after Neferpitou, and we know it's going to be huge.
Crazy.
It's going to be crazy. So, like, I would assume that they can hold their own. I just don't want them to die. I'm not going to say, the more we've been, going into the show, the more the show has taken liberties with who can die and how it can happen and stuff. I remember that in Jesus fuck, Kurapika's arc. Yeah. Yeah, with the
New York
spider.
York New City, yeah.
Yeah, the York New arc. I'm sorry to them. I don't know what's happening. I'm tired. But with the criminals, like the spider.
Phantom Troop.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you. I forgot the name. I'm sorry.
I could apologize for York New name, but Phantom Troop name? Come on.
With the Phantom Troop, I remember freaking out over how some of these fights looked so impossible, and then they just did them so easily. It was badass, especially Kurapika's fight, but it was still badass, but it was over pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So, but somehow, since then, the show has managed to prove to us that they were not afraid to up the stakes a little bit.
Yeah, no.
So, I am not gonna put in my head that all of these characters are safe, that all of them are gonna be fine, and that they're gonna win their fight. Like, no, I'm not that naive. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, I'll be prepared. But I'm prepared for some badassness, especially with Netero and the king. That's gonna be crazy. Like, no matter who wins, I'm gonna have a good time. Okay.
Let's talk very fast about Kite.
Well, no, that's the whole point of the episode. Let's not talk about this fast.
Okay, no, not fast, but I want to talk about the Neferpitou's ability with Kite, because we know that she brought him back to life in a zombie-like state.
Well, to an extent, because they said they managed, when they fought him, they managed to, get rid of his nen, basically, with Knuckles' ability. So he's got his nen, his nen is there, but then how much of himself has been brought back? That's the question. So he's alive, technically.
Yeah,
but if we get rid of Neferpitou, is he just gonna drop dead?
I think that's the point, because technically, if you think about it, people can be alive but brain dead.
Yes.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. We assumed before that she brought back, the body and stuff, but then the soul stayed behind. I would assume it's kind of, he's like that right now. He's just a body being controlled, but his eyes are open and his nen works. His nen is there. Well, not right now, but technically his nen is there. So it's still heartbreaking as fuck. Like, even if he's not himself, to see what happened to him, to his body, because they used him as a training dummy, basically. Yeah. They just kept fighting him.
With the intensity level too?
She trained soldiers with him. So the ones that were strong enough to get close to him had to fight the entire ability, and to know that, Knuckle and Shoot had to basically hurt him very bad to stop him. Like, we know it's strong, so it's Neferpitou's ability. Still, to know that they had to hurt Kite, even if he's dead, it's like the disrespect to his body, to know that that is what is happening to him after. It hurts. The entire scene with Gon meeting him again was beautifully done, visually, musically, and just the script was great too. Like, everything about this scene was just so good, yet so fucking sad. Oh, Gon is. Just the thing is, I almost expected him to react in anger, and the way he reacted showed a lot of maturity. yet I'm not. Yeah, he
Well,
was sad. Of course, he was sad, but
I wouldn't put it on Gon to react with anger against Kite
well,
because that's Kite. That's not. He's not responsible
No,
for the
no, but
state that he's in.
when I expect anger, I'm not saying especially anger at Kite. I would expect lashing out, leaving, or something. That this is how I would expect the younger Gon to react. We've seen him react like this when Kite lost his arm with Neferpitou. Like Killua had to knock him out.
Yeah, but Neferpitou was there.
But I know, but still, it doesn't stop the anger from showing up. But
No,
for him
no.
to stay calm, show sadness and stuff, and still take those hits while analyzing the hits, so he could get close to him eventually. Like that showed a lot of maturity. And a lot of sadness, of course. And I'm not surprised that he's been controlling it so far. I do not, I'm not naive enough to think that once he sees Neferpitou, he's just going to lose it.
The bee is going to be unleashed.
Yeah. It's a good thing that Kirua's around, but even him, I don't know if he's going to be able to stop anything if they face Neferpitou, which they will. But the fact that he managed to keep it in, that he managed to stay calm. They said he was unfocused, which makes a lot of sense because, he's got a lot of stuff on his mind and he's trying to think about what he's going to do and how it's going to happen. But then, asking him, oh, imagine I'm Neferpitou and just attack me, and he just straight up lost
probably
it.
not the best idea you had.
We're going to see some intense shit once he gets there. And but I was pleasantly impressed with how he handled the whole thing, because he could have become angry. He could have lost it, which would have led to them saying, you know what, you're unstable, just stay behind.
But I really do wonder though, because when he was letting himself being beaten up by Kite, I know that he was just trying to see if Kite was still there, but with the
if there's some fighting
with the
spirit.
repetitive move like right, left, right, it's
Dodge.
feint.
Fade.
That wasn't Kite. That's just
A machine.
a little bit of a machine. But I think that a little bit a part of him was also punishing himself because they weren't able to save him. That
I
is
think
like
so
that right
too.
now.
Like, there are ways to see how he fights without taking the punch. The first one was kind of necessary because it gave him, the answer of, oh shit, okay, it's not as strong as I remember from him when I was a kid. Then taking in those punches, he could have dodged them. He could have seen the fight, the attacks without taking them. I do also think that maybe that was sort of his way to punish himself, because Killua and Gon see this and automatically, and at least that's what I think, they would assume that this happened completely because of them, because they were weak, because they couldn't protect him, because they couldn't come back and
because
help
they tried
him.
to interfere.
Or because if you go back to the beginning of the thing, yeah. So like, the guilt is strong. They still have to push through and do the right thing, and that's what's giving them motivation. Taking those hits, yeah, maybe punish himself, okay. I love though that he's not just rolling into a ball and just bashing himself over the head for this. Like, his reaction to the whole thing is, I'm gonna go and defeat Neferpitou, which is great because we need to get rid of her. And
Which that's a guy
or a girl. They never really said.
They said it.
And honestly, like, she looks like a girl, so I'm gonna call her a girl. Anyway, I would say that it's giving him the motivation necessary to perhaps defeat Neferpitou. So we'll see. Kite was surprised, and he was unlucky, but then he also had no rage behind his fight with Neferpitou, which sometimes is good and sometimes is bad, depending on how you use it in a fight. We always say when we watch a show like this, like, don't let your emotions take over, which is what Gon did in that example at the end.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, sometimes you might just need that, to push it a little further.
You need to have a control rage, because if you think about it, when Killua was trying to... No, not Killua. Kurapika wanted to attack the Fire Troop members, all rage, it would have been dead.
And he said thank you because they stopped
They need
them.
to have a control rage behind them.
Rage is
if not,
good.
they won't be able to focus.
Rage is good to fuel your attacks, but if you let rage consume you and you start attacking without thinking about what you're doing, that's when it becomes dangerous.
Yep.
So That's why I'm like, it's a good thing Kirua's gonna go with Gon, because he needs that rage, but then he also needs Kirua to control it a little bit. So I say we move on to the next episode and see what happens next. We have many, many, many fights coming, and all of them are going to be...
10 days before 99% of the population is going to be dead,
all of the people that show up.
Yeah.
Not the population, like they didn't call the entire world.
99% of the city population is going to be dead.
Yeah, so let's do this. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out right now if you want. The link is in the description.
And if you don't, you can with the next one to be out on YouTube next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.